Okay, hi guys. Good evening, everyone watching this channel. My Redfooty. This is a new channel and where we've started this Indian fan podcast. Today is the first episode, and we have our first guest. He's on your screen. His name is Ryan Torres. Welcome, Ryan. Thank you for making time and doing this very first episode of this new India fan podcast for all the football fans all over the world, mainly in India, and Liverpool fans and other fans of other clubs. Yeah, so nice to have you. Thank you for coming.
Thank
So,
you.
yes, so Ryan, can you tell us a little about yourself? Where are you from, and why you like football?
Yeah, thank you so much, Red Panda. I feel this is a great initiative taken where we connect with a lot of fans across India and maybe future globally you could carry forward. But thank you so much for having here. And so I'm Ryan Torres, and I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. And since I was a kid, I used to play football, and I have even represented India at Liverpool Anfield in 2019. And yeah, since you were born and brought up in Mumbai, as a kid, you always learned to play cricket. It was not football your first sport. But when I joined the football coaching in my school, I think I was around third standard or something. That's when I fell in love with the sports, and I thought like I would probably like playing this than the thing that is played in Mumbai and globally in India.
That's nice. Yeah, I think in India, the most everyone knows the most dominant or most preferred sport for every other Indian is cricket.
Yeah,
So, of course, I think there's a community which is like the Catholic community where you are from certain parts of India
yeah,
tend to kind of go towards football. So it's glad we still are a substantial fan base considering we are like a close to 2 billion people in India. So even a fraction of that if likes football, so that's a huge base in India itself. So that's good. So what are you currently doing? You're working or you have your own business?
so currently I'm working, and on the weekends I play football. Yeah.
And what is your favorite position in terms of football?
So my favorite position in terms of football is to play as a defender, but I play as a goalkeeper for my team.
I think
Yeah.
you're tall and well
Yeah.
in stature as well, right? So how tall are you?
So I'm 6'1".
That's nice.
Yes.
So you are
Yeah.
the tall, dark, or brown, handsome guy.
Yeah.
Are you
Yes.
an eligible bachelor or you're getting hitched anytime soon?
Uh, that's I'm maybe in the future, yeah, something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So let's it's good to get the introduction off the way, and then we can talk a little about. So you one interesting aspect about you, you are an Arsenal fan, isn't it?
Uh, I think there's an issue.
Can you hear me, Ryan?
Yeah, I think I was feeling a bit uncomfortable.
Okay, okay. All right. That was an unexpected
Yeah,
issue. Yeah, so I was surprised that you're wearing a Liverpool jersey considering
yeah,
you are an Arsenal fan. So good that you,
yeah,
wore the skin that you prefer to wear, right?
yeah.
So, yeah, so I've been told you are a lifelong Arsenal fan, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's true. So I have a soft spot even for Liverpool, but we'll get to there. But my story with an Arsenal, it's like I remember, like I was in third standard, and it's been very long. Like since I started playing, and I'll tell you a fun story about it. So, how did I become an Arsenal fan? During a practice session, my coach he was telling all the senior guys in the team like, today there's a game, Man United versus Arsenal. You guys should watch it. So I used to go to training with my cousin brother, and he was an Man United supporter. So while we were coming back, he was talking about the game. We'll watch it together. And I was just a kid, yeah, I didn't know, and I was just learning to play football. So we went back home, sat down together, switched on the TV to watch the match, and he was there in like a Man United supporter, and I was just like, okay, let's just watch the sports. Yeah, what the heck, like, and then I seen Arsenal playing, and oh my god, I went there not knowing, but I fell in love with Arsenal and the way they played, like Thierry Henry with his touches, with his sprint, and Patrick Vieira dominating the midfield, and yeah, man, and I just accidentally fell in love with Arsenal and the way they were playing.
Yeah, that was an era where Arsenal started this whole tiki-taka kind of football
Yeah,
with very strong midfielders. I remember Patrick Vieira, and I think there was uh, another
Freddie
French
Ljungberg.
midfielder that they had, Freddie Ljungberg. Yeah. So and
Yeah,
of course Thierry Henry is an Arsenal legend. So
yeah,
yeah, so good. So good. That's so good. Good to hear. My story is also kind of similar, but I mean, I fell in love with Liverpool because of Michael Owen. I remember way back in 1998. He was a very young kid, I think 16-year-old. He played that World Cup and he did this. He came up with this solo goal against Italy, and and then following after the World Cup, he joined Liverpool, and of course Steven Gerrard and Ian Rush and few others. So that's
yeah,
how I started following Liverpool. But glad to hear your story. Thank you for sharing it. It's
yeah,
really nice. So now we've established that you are a lifelong Arsenal fan, like, and you said
yeah,
you have a soft spot for Liverpool. In fact,
yeah,
there are a lot of soft spots you have in terms of Liverpool. Your
yeah,
last name is Torres. Do you know Liverpool also had a
yeah,
fascinating striker in Fernando Torres?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, like the things that connected even when I watched Fernando Torres play, it was amazing. And then to have that surname, you should just walk out in the school and be like, yeah, you know what? Even I'm a Torres.
Yes. Yes. We often in India we get asked
Yeah,
these questions that how come you have such last names like Fernandez, Torres, and all of these names.
yeah,
And then we have to explain to people that we come from that sort of lineage or heritage. You have those
yeah,
names. So yeah, and the other bit about you that is very interesting, and I think you're one of the very few in India that have had the privilege to play at my
yeah,
favorite stadium in the world, which is Anfield. So
yeah.
you happen to go to Anfield. So can you tell us about that story? How did that unfold, and how was that experience?
Okay, to start about it, so there is a tournament that's been held by Standard Chartered. So it's for the corporate guys, and it was almost like you're done playing football, and then we just used to play it as a hobby, like bunch of guys who love the sports. After office, we used to go practice, play football, and so we got to know that there is this tournament that's coming. By Standard Chartered, and it's an all in white. It, so then we started preparing for it, and when we reached there and we seen the teams that's come, I think Mumbai had the most amount of teams. So just to give you a background on the competition, so there is like this competition takes place in 8 states globally in India. Sorry, in India, and every city has a knockout tournament, and each team that comes through in the final, they win this from their state, and they come together after a month and they play this all India finals tournament. So from Mumbai, there were roughly about like 70 teams just competing for this. And to be honest, we were the underdogs there. Like there were far better teams than us. We have seen players who have played earlier, and not kidding. I think if I have to be honest to myself, I didn't think we even stood a chance. The kind of talent that was there in Mumbai itself. But then what goes on is the hard work that we put in for this competition. Like every day, we every alternate day we used to go and practice like after office hours, and it was like office hours used to get done at 11 p.m., and then after that we used to go and practice around till like 1:30 in the morning. And It's just that sheer, that hard work and hustle to go and put yourself there and at least give that chance to yourself that no, they are better, but even we are not less. We have practiced for this. And a lot of credit even goes to my captain here, Akash Jain. I mean, he had, I think so, he had this groin injury and he played the entire tournament through it. And, while seeing your captain putting that extra shift that's required during the game, even through an injury, pushes each and every one of us to, okay, this is 100%, this is the best, but we got to push ourselves to give more. And that's where, we stood out the best in Mumbai. And then after that, a month later, we had this All India finals where there were each finalist from each states, around roughly eight eight teams were there. And just before this day of India finals, so we are having this practice match with another team just locally, where a day before that we had and I enjoyed myself. Like there's a clash between the defender and me, and I've fallen. I have like no chance now. My leg is going to lift from this. And the guys, me being such a heavy guy, they have tried to lift me and put me out of the ground. And everyone is like concerned. Fata, how do you say basically in Hindi? Like just then after 1 2 days we have our finals, India finals, and to see your goalkeeper, main goalkeeper, just lying there straight, don't know what's going to happen. But then that moment, I just knew that I wanted to play, no matter what. I I couldn't get up. I'm saying I took at least like 2 hours to hold myself and be like, whatever it is, let's see. Go to the doctor, take checkup. The doctor said you got to rest for a month, but that's not just stopping me from like going and play the final. And at that moment, I just messaged my captain. I said that, see, the doctor said 1 month, but I'm not waiting. I'm going to play this. No matter what, I'm going to play this. And I told you, I've been through your groin injury. This is not stopping me from playing the finals. And similarly, even there was this right back Ganesh who used to play. Even he had some issue with his knee. He was not a fully fit guy. So we had like three. We play 5v5. So three members from your team, they are freaking not fit. And it's just like you put this in your head, like you got to do this. There is nothing going to stop you. Okay, this is the day. This is your chance, and you don't know what's going to happen. Just forget whatever is in your head and play like you're normally going to play and give it your best. No matter your like ankle is gone or your knee is gone. This is what we discussed. Like we are not going to think about what's wrong in our body. It's just going to play like we play and like a team. Like everyone fights for everybody and we do our best. That's what the team talk was. And we went in there, we played, we had the group stage, then we played the knockout and the finals. I mean, that went down to penalties, but we had a lot of crowd with us. Luckily, we had a good office teammates that had come to cheer us. Uh, and it was quite some backing here from there from the team in the finals. And also, I forgot to mention, like we had Ian Rush come as a chief guest for the
So this
tournament.
was in
This was
the
in
Anfield
Mumbai.
or
No, no, this was in Mumbai.
it was in Mumbai, yeah.
So yeah, the All India finals. We had Ian Rush as a chief guest come in. So yeah, like I mean, you see a legend right there. And then what else do you require to push yourself even much more?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's a hell of a story, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like if for any, we are pretty much amateur sports guys, but
Yeah.
in any kind of success that you achieve, there goes a lot of effort, and there are a lot of adverse events like you guys had, and the fact that your captain Akash, who had the faith
Yeah.
in you, to in spite of your your honesty, of course, in telling them, and the camaraderie that was there, like that I can hear between the guys, between you and your team, is excellent. You can't just get through any team sport by playing as an individual. It's always a collective
Yeah.
effort where you come together. And it's very nice to hear about different cultures, right? So you have somebody from east or west, and different people from
Yeah.
different cultures coming together, playing as a team. And in spite of all the challenges, you guys made to the final and then won it. And I
Yeah.
guess that's where you got the opportunity to go and travel and
Yeah.
go to Anfield, which was, of course, for all those football fans who don't know, the association of Standard Chartered and Liverpool. Standard Chart is actually a sponsor
Yeah.
for Liverpool, and I think they were the main sponsors during that time in 2019-20. And I
Yeah.
think they, due to which Ryan got an opportunity to play in Anfield or go to the stadium and experience the entire theater there. So now that we understood how you got to going to Anfield, how was that experience when you actually went to Anfield? You met some legends there. So how were
Yeah.
you received? How were you guys as a team received? As an Indian, we kind of get lost when you go to these places, right? So,
Yeah.
how was that experience?
So I would say that when we won the final itself, it was unbelievable. And then, Ian Rush handing the trophy to us, and it all felt like that small kid. He's been, like told, like you're going to go and live a dream that you always seen on the television. Uh, and for me personally, this was my first international trip, and to experience this with your team is, I think it's even better. Like you fought with these guys, and now you're going to go and represent India. And just when you are being told that you guys will now go in Anfield and represent India, that's it. Like amateur guys, like going to office 9 to 5, you don't dream about all these things happening to you. Like you, at first when you're just joining office, you're like, okay, that's done now. Like just put the boots aside. And when this kind of opportunity comes, I'm like, come on, just give it. Even in my dreams, I wouldn't dream about this. Let me just go to Anfield right now. Not even let me wait for a month. But then yeah, we have to be patient. And the entire experience, like from our friends dropping us at the airport to going in as a team, and you have these eyes just looking around like, who are these guys? And like, I mean, we are not the Indian cricket team, others we would have people around us, but you could see like people are staring at you and wondering, who are these guys? Are they any like known faces or anything? But yeah, you had this kind of experience that you never got like when you were just normal guy here. And then to top it off, we landed at Manchester, and then we had a guy holding a card which said Team India. That very moment I froze when I seen that guy holding the placard saying Team India, and I just had goosebumps. And I was telling my guy, "Is that true? Is that true? Is this guy come to take us?" And then we were like just discussing, oh my god, like you have not seen this, you only seen this in movies, and like just normal like people holding cards and be like, you guys have to come here. And then we were like small kids, now we have just turned into kids, we are not even like professional like footballers. And then we went out, and yeah, they told us like, go stand near that bus, there's a guy who will come and he'll assist you guys. And then me just like, it's a normal bus. Yeah, let's just go have a look. And it looked pretty cool. Yeah, the bus also, it was very well. And then I went in and I came out and I seen this way and I'm like, what does it say? And then I could read it said Team India, and I'm like, shit, guys, this entire bus is for us, and it has all the facilities. And like you can imagine, like from the coffee to everything, everything was there right for you guys. And then they told us, you guys just hop on. There will be someone who will take you to a hotel, and everything will be done. And funny story. So I mean, we are just normal guys who played like football for school, college, and if there was any tournament outside, you always shared a room. like here in India, you always share a room with her. So in the team bus, we are discussing, I'll share the room with you, you share the room with this guy. And there was this one quiet guy, okay? So he doesn't say anything. And so we're like, we are only left with the marketing guy and this quiet guy. So the marketing guy, he just spoke a lot. So then we were like, we'll just patch this guy with that guy, and it's sorted for us. But then when we just reached the hotel and they handed us a card, so we thought this is a letter. So it mentioned, congratulations, you guys, you made it this far, and Team India, and so and so. And every card had a number. So we asked the lady, she said that, yeah, this is each one of you guys' room with the invitation letter. And we were like, is this happening with us? All this while we only shared rooms. We were in bunker beds, and then you get
Just
a room.
to remark, even the Indian cricket team, maybe now they get individual
Yeah,
rooms, but from back in the day, you would
yeah,
have the Ranji teams and the domestic teams. Even they would have to share the room. So you are you are privileged to
yeah,
get your own room. That's good.
yeah.
Carry on.
And then to top it off, we while we're just speaking of that, we got to know, like, just a week back, the Barcelona team had played here, and Messi was in the same hotel. So we were trying to figure out where did Messi stay, so we could just brush off some of his uh, around
Stardust.
us. Yeah, status around us. Even if one person, that would be enough for us. Yeah, yeah, and then on the same day we got a chance to meet Sir Kenny Dalglish, and oh my God, that guy, the when he just spoke and he greeted us. I mean, you look there, but then he so humble. He spoke to us, each one of us, and he just had a lot of, like, inspiring words, like, you guys are playing your, don't don't think that everyone gets this opportunity, and if you guys have made it this far, I want you guys to even, experience everything. Don't just like rush into it. Live each second. That's what he told us. Live each second. Don't just rush into, like, this one is calling you or there. Just feel every second. You got to, guys, live it. That's what
That's
he told.
inspiring. That's
Yeah,
inspiring. Did you meet any other current players besides? I know you met Kenny Dalglish, Robbie
yeah,
Fowler, Ian Rush,
yeah.
but other than any current players, did you guys happen to have a chance to meet them?
So it was part of our itinerary, but since there was this Liverpool had qualified for the final rounds of Champions League, so that slot had been moved out because they had to recover and all that thing. So then that entire schedule got scrapped out. Others, we would have definitely had a chance to meet with all the players of Liverpool.
So
Yeah,
how was seeing the Anfield Stadium? And you were in fact in the stadium
yeah,
on the ground.
yeah,
So how was that experience? Though the stadium was empty, but the
yeah,
fact that you got to see it, and
yeah,
it's the same field that the current squad
yeah,
plays. So how was that
yeah.
experience?
Just before that, I'll let you know that we even had a training session, with the Liverpool coaches.
Okay.
So when we just stepped onto the training field and take a feel of the entire setup and how everything is constructed from what you do first, second, third, fourth, and it's so well organized, it just blew everyone away. And even that kind of, infrastructure, I hope that's now there here in Mumbai, or the top clubs are doing it. But and that we were only practicing with the youth team guys. I think they were under 12, under 14, and the entire setup just to see for the youth academy was like mind blowing to see like what setup they have. I mean, yeah, Liverpool is a top club. I'm definitely they have it for the lower clubs as well. But just to see it there, it was very fascinating, and the kind of information you get from the youth team as well, from the youth coaches, is surreal. Like, you don't expect these kind of information being fed
Correct.
to you, like how you watch the game, how do you channelize when your this partner makes this move, what you got to do, what's your thought process, all this kind of information is being fed, and for you, you're like, oh, now you just want to live this even longer. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then after the training session, we even had a chance, to watch the Liverpool versus Wolves, the final game.
Yes.
This was before final tournament. So this, I mean, the Liverpool fans are crazy, and I say crazy is just like a normal word, I would say. Like a day just before the game, so we were walking down the streets, and the people, the who are advisors, they told us just be careful. People might get a little bit crazy today. So we're like, we are from Mumbai, yeah, we understand crazy. Like,
But
come
that's a
on.
different kind of crazy altogether.
Oh, I'm saying no, like crazy is a normal word. They are insane, they're mad. I think any word you would use, it's just won't be sufficient for the fans. And I fell in love with the fans because we walked down the street. I think it was 8 o'clock in the evening or something like that, and people are chanting and they're singing the anthem, and this is right on the street, taking off their clothes. And that's, I mean, if I was a player and I seen that on my Instagram and seen the kind of love like the fans are showing, it would push me to another level. And it didn't stop. I think we came back from the street around like early morning, like 12:30 or something, and they were still there. They were there. Like I feel they would be going on in the morning as well. I'm not sure, but we had to get back in the hotel for
Yeah,
the
that,
reason.
that
Yeah,
particular season was crazy because, like you said, before you guys arrived, I think a week before they played Barcelona, and that
yeah,
that epic game where they came
yeah.
back from 4-0 down.
4-0.
So that
Yeah,
season was crazy, and I think with Klopp at Liverpool during that time, it was a complete different Liverpool. The entire
yeah,
feeling around, I think it was not just the match going fans, but even when we go to watch matches here or we see
yeah,
elsewhere in the world, I think Liverpool as a club does have that connection. I'm sure there are a lot of clubs
yeah,
like that, but Liverpool is a special club, especially when it
yeah,
comes to its fans. They connect with that
yeah,
regular. They're very regular people, work class,
yeah,
do their thing in their life. They have their own adversities, but they come together when whether Liverpool is playing well or not. So it's a
yeah,
you have the privilege to witness that, and that's a good testimony of what we've seen from
yeah,
afar. So yeah, that's good.
yeah, yeah. And then the next day so while we were just going to the stadium, uh, there was this incident where you passed the Everton Stadium, and since you had all these Liverpool lads as well in our bus, they were like, do you want to see a shithole?" And they just
Yeah, that
pointed out to the
rivalry is pretty
stadium.
bitter,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
bitter.
I mean, I didn't even disagree. Like, with the standard that Liverpool's play, yeah, it's good. And so while we were just on our way, the guys, like the people, they were just walking, and with your "You'll Never Walk Alone" and all the anthems and stuff, they were just going on and on. And then you could see the team bus entering the stadium, and I feel they just parked the bus for there for some time so that players could just take that, since it was the last game and it was a decider. It was, if Man City win, they go through. If they lose, then Liverpool go through. So yeah, it was a very I think I was still living a dream. I couldn't believe that I'm part of this entire thing process, and I feel somewhere I would have even fallen in love with Liverpool and started my new journey as a Liverpool fan. I feel.
Well, you're already there
Yeah,
halfway, so
yeah,
I won't be surprised if you switch. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, like I said, it's this is a very out of world experience to
yeah.
experience this kind of thing, right? And
Yes.
you're one of the very few. I'm sure
Yeah,
most of the Liverpool fans who've not had the chance to
yeah,
go to Anfield would envy this kind of experience. You're so
yeah,
close, you are in the ground, you experience a match going experience, and then
yeah,
of course you met these legends. So
yeah,
yeah, and I think representing India and the fact that as Indians, it's a real proud moment when
yeah,
we do such kind of events. And when
yeah,
you see, we often get this feeling that if it's not cricket, no other sports get valued, especially from when you go up
yeah,
abroad, right? So when people see,
yeah,
but that's not true. This experience that you shared, where you were well received by the team, and Sir Kenny Dalglish, of course, took the time out of speaking to you. I know he's a club's
yeah,
ambassador, but then
yeah,
he's Kenny Dalglish.
yeah,
He's an icon in itself, right?
yeah,
So it's good to hear. We've heard these stories about him being humble and simple and all of that.
yeah,
So I'm sure for us as Indian Red fans and Indian football fans in general, we should all aspire to, be and improve our football in India. Of course, our
yeah,
infrastructure is not as good as maybe cricket and other sport, but
yeah,
if I'm sure if we can improve that, a lot of us will have the opportunity to, represent India at different
yeah,
level. And I do hope, I don't know whether in our lifetime if India would ever play, the FIFA World Cup, but let's hope
yeah,
that someday
yeah,
we do. So thank you
yeah,
for sharing that experience about your journey from Mumbai to Anfield. I'm
yeah,
sure a lot of fans or a lot of football lovers who listen to this podcast will be inspired and
yeah,
maybe participate in a lot of these kind of tournaments, which give them the opportunity to represent India at a larger scale.
yeah,
So let's move on to talk a little about Arsenal. Otherwise it
yeah,
seems like you are a Liverpool fan. You've been glorifying Liverpool for some time now. So let's
yeah,
talk a little about Arsenal. So Arsenal this season, as you know, is in pretty much three or four competitions, right? They are
yeah,
gunning for the league. They're currently on 70 points, I think. Uh,
yeah,
City in the second position, they have about 7 or 8 points as buffer. So
yeah,
what do you think about Arsenal this season? I honestly used to like Arsenal in the Thierry Henry, Patrick,
yeah,
that Patrick Vieira, those days, right?
mm,
Arsenal they were one team that were very energetic. Most of us college going guys would look at that and
mm.
aspire to play that kind of football. But of course, Arsenal, hasn't been that for many years. So what do you think of Arsenal's chances this season of winning the league?
See, since I've been a Arsenal fan like since third standard, and I think I was just part of that era, where we won and then we became invincible, and after that it was just like this the next year, and the next year. But I feel this time we are going to pull it through, and because I think we are playing a sensible football, we are trying to pull it through, and it's like during Arsene Wenger's time, it was all about beautiful football and free flowing and stuff. Like there was a chance where we could have, where Leicester won the cup, we could have done it if we were more strategic and let's say that not we are not that smart, but I feel this year we'll do it.
But you guys have spent a lot of money, especially after
Yeah,
Arteta joined Arsenal as a
yeah,
manager in the
yeah,
last 3, 4 years. And to be fair, I
yeah,
think last two seasons they came as runner-up, so this is the third one.
yeah,
So maybe third
yeah,
time you guys are lucky and you
yeah,
do it. I mean, I'm saying lucky, but
yeah,
really put in a lot of effort. Team played
yeah,
well. There have been some inconsistent results though of lately. In the last maybe 7, 8 weeks.
yeah,
But unfortunately for them, the other teams like City and others
yeah,
around them are also dropping points
dropping.
consistently. So that is not helping. And it's like Liverpool when they won the league last year. They were consistent, but others around them weren't consistent. So that kind of
Yeah,
nobody really challenged them. So as a result, they kind of had a free way to the title. So this
yeah,
season, Arsenal has somewhat of a challenge. I feel the others are. Of course, Liverpool is not the same team as they were last season with all the changes,
yeah,
and of course, we had this sad news of Jota dying. Just before the
yeah,
season. So
yes,
all of that has had a significant effect in the overall season. But yeah, let's see how this season winds up. But yeah, good to
yeah,
know that you are hopeful that Arsenal will do it this season.
yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think of Arsenal chances in the Champions League?
I think seeing at the fixtures, I think we should do it, and I feel like it's only Arsenal that's going to stop Arsenal. I feel if the players put it into their head, I think you cannot stop these kind of talented players that we have in our system, and I mean, even the EFL Cup, we should have pulled it through, and it's yeah, it's an error. But I feel if Havertz would have um, scored the first chance that he had, it would have been a different game. Like I said, like it would only be Arsenal stopping Arsenal. It's just that the minds, like you get a taste of, like it's a lion. If you get a taste of blood, I feel after that, after this season, if Arsenal wins the treble, which I'm hoping for, like they have a superb chance. I think after that, for a few seasons, it would just be Arsenal.
Hope not, but for your
Yeah.
sake, okay, maybe. Today they are playing, I think, in the FA Cup quarterfinals
Yes.
against with
Southampton.
Southampton. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
probably the easiest draw that they and Chelsea have. Chelsea's playing Port
Yeah.
Vale, and
Yeah.
Arsenal's playing Southampton. Of course,
Yes.
Liverpool is also playing against Man City.
Man City.
It's an away fixture, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure, not very confident that
Yeah.
they will make it. But yeah, I mean, Arsenal has a great chance of completing the treble. They were
Yeah.
gunning for the quadruple. They lost out to Man City in the
Yeah.
League Cup, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a good sort of omen for you
Mhm.
that they can now, since the League Cup is gone, maybe they get the treble. I hope they don't, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's. I still feel that they will not win the Champions League. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Uh, Probably the FA Cup and the league, if Man City continues to
Yeah.
stumble in the league, I think it'll be difficult for Arsenal. But since they
Yeah.
have a good amount of headroom, they should be able to do it. So yeah,
Yeah.
so let's move on to a quick Arsenal rapid fire. Ryan, let's test
Okay.
if you are a true Arsenal fan. And I'm going to ask you some rapid questions, and I hope you can respond rapidly.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first question is Invincibles of 2004 or the current squad?
Invincible all day, all night.
Okay. Thierry Henry or Dennis Bergkamp?
Oh, Henri, since I fell in love watching him play for Arsenal, yes, it's going to be Henri.
But
But
Dennis
Dennis
Bergkamp
Bergkamp
was not bad at all.
is an art. He's an art. He made football like an art, the way his touches and all. Yeah.
The next one, though I don't think he's an these guys are MVP, but Bukayo Saka or Martin Odegaard, who you think is the MVP right now?
Think it's going to be Saka when he's like fully fit.
Okay. The
Yeah.
Etihad or Anfield or the new Emirates?
Gonna say Anfield because I've lived it and experienced it firsthand. So I'm going to say it's Anfield.
One word to describe your current manager, Mikel Arteta.
Um, Relentless.
Okay. If you could sign one player this summer, who would it be?
I'm mixed. It's going to be Alvarez or Carvajal.
Okay.
I mean,
I
we
don't
got to
think
fill the position.
he just signed for PSG, the
Yeah,
Kvaratskhelia guy. So I don't think not PSG. I think he signed for who? Yeah,
yeah,
PSG.
he's signed for PSG. Yeah,
Yeah, he signed with PSG. So I don't
yeah,
think you'll get him, but you already
yeah.
have too many wingers. So I don't know what you're going to do with.
No, I feel Trossard is going to go, and we got to find a replacement for Trossard. And Martinelli, I feel he needs that extra push with the extra quality that comes in. So Julian Alvarez would be a good replacement.
And so with that in mind, who's the most underrated player in the current Arsenal squad?
Uh, it's going to be Martin Zubimendi. I mean, he's been a good signing, but he's still a lot of Arsenal players don't rate him as much he should be. The kind of work shift he puts in, and he's not like the difference of Thomas Partey leaving. It's not been felt. So yeah, he's underrated for me.
Great job, Ryan. I think you answered
Yeah,
all of the rapid questions rapidly and with a lot of knowledge. So,
yeah,
you often talk to fans, especially when I interact with a lot of fellow football fans. So I kind of have three barometers in terms of the fan connection, that they
yeah,
have affinity to the club. There are some window fans who are just like they look at it on and off, but they don't know
yeah,
much. So if you give them a jersey of any club, they will wear it it's fine. And there are these glued fans who are more
yeah,
interested, and they on and off, they have their allegiance to that. There is some amount of loyalty, and then of course there are ardent fans like us who
yeah,
wouldn't change whatever we follow for anything. So we are quite obsessed. So that's
yeah,
the word I use to describe fans like us. So good to know that you come in that first category of obsessive Arsenal fan. So nice of you to to hold the fort for all the Indian
yeah,
Arsenal fans here in India.
yeah.
So now that we've understood Ryan, at least from a footballing sense, how what does Ryan do personally? What
But
are his hobbies?
sorry to interrupt, but when you talk about this fans and rivalry, I felt this firsthand even with the players. Like I'll tell you a fun story with Ian Rush. So we were in the Liverpool dressing room, and this was just before a game, and we were just having a few word about the game and stuff. And I told him after this game, I think we would all be leaving quickly. So can I have a picture with you? So he was kind enough, and he was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so I told my friend, can you click a picture? And my teammate goes, he takes out his phone and he clicks a picture, and Ian Rush just goes, he like, is that a United cover? He takes it, he dumps it in the bin, and he says, that's where you all belong. I mean, that's kind of rivalry to have it even for a player. Oh,
It's interesting when it comes to those rivalry, right? So we see
yeah,
these rivalries there, but in India, of course, where the club culture is very
yeah,
new, especially with the
yeah,
IPL and stuff like that. We are not as cutthroat rivals as
yeah,
these fans are. They are like,
yeah,
there are like, if for instance, between Liverpool and Everton, they're city rivals, but there are families who've grown generation on generations to
yeah,
be, fans of, either Everton or Liverpool, and
yeah,
wherever they are, even if they migrate to another city or country or whatever may be the case,
yeah,
that rivalry, that awareness is really high, and it's
yeah.
very emotive and emotional when it comes to that. So it's good to experience that kind of obsessive culture culture as well. So
Yeah.
that's good. So coming back to Ryan, so personally, what do you do? You are like I said, you are a 6 feet one tall, handsome brown guy. So what do you do
Yeah.
besides playing football?
So besides playing football, on the weekdays I do my 9 to 5 work, and then on the weekends it's football, or if I get a hosting, anchoring kind of job, I do that. Yeah.
So, what kind of anchoring or
All
comparing?
sorts of events, all sort of from your wedding to baptism or your haldi, you name it, I do all of that.
So you cover all. Do you do
Yeah.
mundans also, mundans and all those
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. If they pay, yes.
all right. So how does one? So if there are any girls who want to invite you for, let's say, a bachelor party or bachelorette
Yeah.
party,
Yeah.
or to do those kind of stuff,
Yeah.
since you're open to all kind of events as long as they pay
Yeah.
you. I'm
Yeah.
hoping you don't do, the G-rated or the events
Yeah.
that you're not supposed to. But yeah, it's
No.
up to you. So how does one reach you? How does one reach you to get invite you to these
Okay.
events?
So it's only if it's related to anchoring, then yeah, you can reach me out to my Instagram ID. That's LinkedIn, it's Ryan Romrick Torres, and Facebook, it's Ryan Romrick Torres.
I
Yeah.
think Ryan, your video froze, so you may have to repeat the handle again.
So on my Instagram, you can reach out on my Instagram. It's only for anchoring. Then it's the Ryan Torres. Your LinkedIn professional stuff. Uh, yeah, I could refer you. You can reach out to Ryan Romrick Torres and Facebook. I don't use it that much, but yeah, if there is a gig that I need to that pays me, it would be Ryan Torres.
All right, Ryan, I think we've pretty much come to the end of this first episode.
Yeah,
It was really a memorable experience for me,
yeah,
especially this is I'm starting to do this podcast for the first time in India, and
yeah,
I hope that this will encourage other Indian fans of different clubs, to
yeah.
participate and share their stories. And that's
Yeah.
Ryan, yes. So it was a great
And
experience.
that's Robbie Fowler and Ian Rush, their
Oh
signature.
yeah, you are now rubbing it in, Ryan.
Yeah,
You have all these legends that I aspire to meet someday.
yeah.
So thank you so much, Ryan, for taking time out and doing this.
Thank
Guys,
you.
this is your host, Red Panda, signing off. Thank you very much and look forward to the next set of episodes in the coming weeks. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks. Cool.